Professor Emeritus of Harvard Law School, author of The Preventative State, The Challenge of Preventing Serious Harms While Preserving Essential Liberties, is Mr. Alan Dershowitz. Great to see you this morning. So I think it's safe to say that Harvard not going to comply to the president's demands. What do you think happens here?
Well, Harvard is not only tolerating anti-Semitism in several of its schools, like the Divinity School and the Public Health School, it's actually teaching, encouraging, fomenting anti-Semitism. For example, the Divinity School recently elected as class marshal one of the thugs who attacked a Jewish student and harassed them on campus and was supposed to be disciplined for it. Instead, he was named to the honorific position of class marshal. The Harvard Law School gave a $65,000 scholarship to another one of the students who harassed and tried to assault a Jewish student at Harvard. These schools are teaching things like intersectionality, critical race theory, DEI, all of which are incubators for anti-Semitism. So these two kids who were killed in Washington, D.C., shot in cold blood, the blood of those people are on the hands of these young people who have been calling for globalize the Intifada. What does globalize the Intifada mean? It means kill Jews. The original Intifada killed 4,000 civilians in pizza parlors on buses. And when you call for globalizing the Intifada, you're calling for the killing of Jews. When you say Palestine will be free from the river to the sea, that means free of Jews. And so when you teach that kind of thing, you encourage the kind of horrible, horrible violence. I defended a lot of protesters in the 60s and 70s. And I predicted in my book, The Preventative State, I actually predicted that we would see the kind of killings that we saw in the District of Columbia, because I knew from my experience that when you encourage violent protests of the kind we've seen on campuses, the line between violent protests and taking a gun and killing somebody is a very, very thin one. As the result of the killing in the District of Columbia, I've had security people tell me I have to redouble my own personal security because any prominent Jew who is a supporter of Israel today, or a prominent Christian who's a supporter of Israel, has a target on their back. One of the people who was killed in the District of Columbia was a young Christian who was studying Christian theology. He was a supporter of Israel, yes, but these things lead to horrible violence, and the administration is right to do something about it. Now, I think they're overgeneralizing. They shouldn't be stopping every student from coming in. After all, there are some students from Britain, from Israel, from other places that are coming in to study, and they shouldn't be defunding cancer research and other research. There should be targeted defunding and targeted denial of visas. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Professor, I mean, the president's made this very simple, and I think you obviously explained it there as well. This is not Trump versus Harvard, Harvard versus Trump. This is Trump versus anti-Semitism. It's against Jewish hatred and the hatred for Israel that is playing out on that campus, and he's saying these are the strings that we're attaching.
Yeah.
You want to participate in our program? Clamp down on anti-Semitism.
Well, it is anti-Semitism. It starts as anti-Semitism, but it then becomes anti-Christianity, anti-Americanism. When you talk about globalizing the Intifada, you're not only talking about Jews. Jews have always been the canary in the mine shaft. They may be the first to be attacked, but they're almost never the last. And so we are talking about a more general problem of universities around the country, Harvard among them, teaching a kind of philosophy in which Americans, decent people, conservatives, Christians are in the crosshairs of the radicals. And universities shouldn't be teaching radicalism. They shouldn't be teaching ideology. They should be teaching subjects that matter. And this whole business of ending meritocracy now at universities, and Harvard admits it basically in its reports. In its reports, it admits that two schools, the School of Divinity, which does it tragically in the name of Christianity, in the false name of Christianity, and the Public Health School, are fomenting this kind of bigotry. And I think other schools as well are doing it.
Information. Truth is freedom. is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.